So today we will make a return on the price logic in SAP and the notion of lowest priced that we discussed 2 weeks ago. And then we will concentrate on one module, the financial management, because we've had many improvements and we have a lot to say about it. So I hope you will like it. And if you have any questions regarding a topic that we have covered, do not hesitate to ask me, or you can also write it down in the chat box. Okay, so let's take a second look at the price list. So 2 weeks ago, we covered the price list section, and I was uncertain of the logic used by SAP to show the lowest price. So I opened an incident ticket with SAP, and they got back to me with a reply on the helpline, and it explains with a decision tree how the prices are calculated. So I wanted to share it with you. It's a bit more complicated than before 9.3, but it offers more flexibility. So we have the following link that Tracy will be able to send after the webinar. And for now, okay, there it is. So let's have a quick look at how it has always been working, meaning the default priority in SAP. So we know we have, like, if we have a blanket agreement linked to a business partner, that will always be the price taken by SAP. So that has a priority over everything else. SAP does not go any further. But if we have special prices for business partner, discount groups, period and volume discounts, and a price list, SAP will use that hierarchy in order to decide which price is chosen by SAP. So that was not changed in 9.3. They made it a bit complicated in that decision tree, but really it's the same as before. So now what, and also they have included some examples that if you want to try on your own, if you want to see it, it explains it well. The example explains it better than this decision tree actually. So most of the business will not use all the possible options. Okay, we have 4 different options in addition to the blanket agreement. Usually we try to simplify our life by using a price list and 1 or 2 additional features, but not the 4 at the same time. Sorry. So this is what happens if we want to select the lowest price or the highest price. The blanket agreement, once again, is out of this decision tree. If we have a blanket agreement, it will take that price, whatever goes after. But here's the change. If we have a special price and discount groups, period and volume, what happens is SAP will calculate the price after discount for the special price. It will, and that will become A. Then it will calculate the price with a discount group, a discount percentage taken from the discount group. And that will result in B, B1 and B2. And then SAP will get the lowest price and compare A, B1, and B2. It will not go any further. So basically, if we have a discount group, the best price will be between the special price and the discount group. If we don't have any discount group, then the period and volume discount will be calculated, and also the price list. And then in that situation, the best price will be between A, which is the special price, C1, which is the period and volume discount, and C2, which is the price list. So, and once again, they have, we have some example with validity period, and that explains quite well how it works. But once again, if we use 2 or 3 features instead of the 4 available, we will simplify a lot the price management. Otherwise it can become complicated. So we'll send you the link for the online help. And if you are interested in the lowest price option, you can take a look at it. And if it's still unclear, you can open a ticket with our support department if you have any questions about that.
Yeah, I just shared the link, everybody, in the chat box if you want to copy and paste it. It's the document that Christophe is showing us right now, and there's more in there. You've got administration, financials, CRM, it's all in there. So you've got that link, which is via the SAP helpline. And if somebody wants the PDF document instead, just send me an email and I could share it with you, the last document that we have. So anyway, it's in the chat box if anyone needs it. Thanks.
Good, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so for today, today let's look at the financial management. So first, we have the multiple branches enhancements. Since version 9.1, it is possible to use the branch option. For instance, you have 2 branches in 2 different cities. This is the same company, the same legal entity. That is very important. And you share customers, items, but there is some data or transactions that you might not want to share with the other branches. And moreover, you may want to be able to isolate transactions for a reporting purpose, for instance, for the financial statement. So for this reason, we can use the branch feature. And in that situation, every transaction will be associated to a branch. So what's new now in 9.3? We have the ability to see only the document for the branches we are assigned to. Okay, so that works for the document and only for the business partner master data. We have also enhancements in the reporting for the sales analysis. If I am allowed to see only what is in regards to the branch B, I will see only the sales linked to the branch B. So here we have 2 options in the general settings. The first one is to enable the filtering mechanism by branch, and the other one is to manage the data ownership by branch. So what do they mean? Here under the business partner tab, we could have none of them, but we can only have one or the other one. So we have to choose between one or the other one. And the difference between the two is the following. Okay. If we choose the enable, okay, whatever we choose, we will, if I'm only allowed to see, if I'm only linked, my user is only linked to the branch B, I will not be able to create a journal entry in branch A. But if I'm allowed to see the chart of accounts or to see the journal entries, I will be able to look at the GL accounts for every branch and to see the journal entry for every branch. Okay, so the idea is that the people in charge of the accounting, usually they have access to everything. So it's more for the end users, for the people creating the master data, or for the people creating sales order or any kind of operations that we have a new changes. So for instance, the business partner, if we use the enable filtering mechanism by branch, we cannot see them, we cannot see the business partners that we are not allowed to in a navigation mode. But if we search with a star and we search for every business partner, we'll be able to see all of them. I will not be able to perform a transaction against that business partner, but I will see him. If we have the enable data ownership checked, then it will be totally blocked. I will not be able to see that business partner. Same thing for the documents AR, AP, invoices, sales order. We could totally block it, or so basically I would see only the transaction, the sales order that are in relation to branch B. But also, if we choose the enable filtering mechanism, I will be able to see all of them only if I go in a search mode with a star. Or actually, if I have the exact document num. Okay, the sales analysis, that is a great improvement. Sales analysis now, if I run the sales analysis and I'm only linked to the branch B, I will see only the information, the sales that were done in the branch B. There is no option for that. I mean, there is no checkbox like in a financial statement. It's just the way it is. But if I want, for some reason, I need to have that credential, I need to be granted. It is possible in the user setup. Sorry, it is possible not for the sales analysis, but for the data ownership. It is possible that I can see it even if I'm not linked to the other branch, but by ignoring the data ownership, I will see all of it. So, and for the financial statement, it's a bit different. We have, let's say that we run profit and loss. We have an expanded menu, and we have the ability here. We have the ability to click on the expanded and to go and select only the branch that we are logged to. So now I'm logged in as manager. I have access to all the branches, but if I was logged as branch B, I would see only the branch B. So that is that I believe are major improvement in the branch management in SAP. Okay. Now let's look at the financial. Sorry, do you have any questions, or we can continue?
Just one note there, if anybody does have questions, but I see a few people just arrived and you were late. So if you guys want a copy of the recording, I'll send it to you afterwards. Like I saw Catherine and Martin and even Jasmine just came in. So I'll send you guys the recording anyways afterwards. So if you have any questions for Christophe, feel free.
Good. Thank you, Tracy. Okay. So here we have quite a few interesting improvements. So the first one is, okay, we have now a chart of account drawers. It has been standardized to 10. So not because we were, not because we could use more, but because all the localizations now are standardized to 10. A predefined list of chart of account category is added, including a completely new trial balance category. So what it means, when we go and select a GL account, in the account detail, we have now a new category, which is trial balance. And we have also some subcategories. So let's say if this is a trial balance, it could be an equity or expense from operation. And if this is profit and loss, well, it could be depreciation expense or income tax and so on. We can even define a new subcategories. So the reason being is that if we have if we have a big chart of account, we might want to categorize it and provide more detail on it for reporting purpose. Okay. Now we can also choose a primary closing account to be used instead of the default account. So what it does is, here I have created a new account, which is a closing account. And I could decide that for some revenues account or some cost of goods sold account, instead of being closed in the default GL account that we can find in the GL account determination, it will be using that new closing GL account 3320. So that could be used, for instance, if we're having multiple branches, each branch, each GL account could be closed again, their closing GL account in the same branch. Okay. Also, we can define in a GL account minimal or maximal balance. So that is, once again, in the account detail, here we could set a minimum and a maximum. So why we would do that? We have an option in the, I think it is the document settings. Yes, it is. In the document setting, we have an option to respond to the GL account balance outside of the allowed range. It could be a warning only, or we could just block the posting. So I believe it's an interesting feature. And also we can, if we want, we can set a mandatory remark in the journal entry. So, and this is also an option in the document setting, in the per document tab this time. When we select the journal entry here, we can activate the mandatory remark. Could be on a header only or rows only. And once again, we can decide if it's a warning only or a blog posting. So that also, I believe, is a nice feature. Okay, and finally, in the chart of account, they are displayed in the hierarchical structure that can be collapsed and expanded. So if we go once again in the chart of account, let's say in the asset, so we have lots of accounts, and we have that new triangle that allows us to collapse and see only at the third level, let's say, or at the fourth level. And we can also here manage the level for all of them. So if we want to see only the second level, we can do it just by one click. So it makes it easier to read the structure of our chart of account. Okay. Also, we have an improvement in the cost accounting adjustment. So now it's possible we can use a posting, we can use a journal entry for cost accounting adjustment only. Okay, it is in the financial cost accounting, and it's called journal entry for cost accounting adjustment. I haven't been very far with that feature. As far as I know, we have very few customers that use the cost accounting. Usually people prefer to use the segmentation. So, but if any of you would like to have a demo, would like to know how it works, please open a ticket to our support department, and we will go through that and help you to make it work. Okay, and finally, the the last improvement is about the scheduled batch processing. So what is the scheduled batch processing? It could be, this is when we use the payment wizard. So it could be on the AP side to process check, or on the AR side to process an EFT, an electronic fund transfer. That right now it's not being used very much, the EFT, but it's getting more used. So we have at the last step of this wizard, we have the option to execute now the payment process, or to schedule it at night. It could be used if that slows down the system, which I don't believe it would, but why it was scheduled, why the schedule was done is like in case of that batch payment wizard would slow down the system. So that's something, as far as I know, we don't have many people that use it. Okay, sorry about that.
Hey, Christophe, just 1 second. I just want to say we covered a webinar a few weeks back on the electronic fund transfer. So if anybody missed that and you want a copy, send me an email and I'll share it on Dropbox. I'm not in the office now, so it might go to Monday, but I just wanted to specify that if somebody needs it. All right?
Okay, good, thank you. And also two little new features that I found. I haven't seen it in the documentation, so maybe it's not very new for 9.3. Maybe it was there in 9.2, not too sure, but I found it interesting. So I'll show you what it is. We have now the option for every GL account to block a manual posting. So the account will still be active, but it will not be able to create a manual journal entry. So that could be useful, let's say, for an inventory GL account. Okay, we don't want to create any journal entry in that. And also another nice feature that I have noticed. For instance, when we run, no, that's not a good example, not a balance. Let's say profit and loss, no. Okay, try balance. Try balance is a good example because we have to choose, we have to select, we have to go down all the way of the chart of account to select the account that we want to be shown in the report. So if we have lots of GL account, it can be tedious, but now we have that little arrow that we can click on it. We can also expand that and go and select from there all the GL accounts that we want. Then we just close it by closing again in the arrow, and it will be there. So that can be a useful tip. Okay, so this is it for the presentation. Next week, we'll see the project management, MRP and production. There are a few
Inventory
improvements,
two-way, yeah.
inventory and distribution, and CRM. Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions for Christophe on what we saw today on the financials? Martin, did you have any questions?
No, it's on
No?
something else. On
Okay.
something else, but not on this, not on the new features.
What was that? I'm sorry, Martin, I didn't hear you. Okay, so nobody has any questions for Christophe?
Okay.
All right, well, thanks everybody. So again, there's our email, the support desk. And if anybody wants a copy of the recording, send me an email. So we'll see y'all in 2 weeks. The next one's going to be on May 18th. So have a nice weekend. Thanks, Christophe.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, bye
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye.